Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. Delighted to be joined, as always, by Mr. Steve K. Steve, you all right?
Hey, Jerome. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, fine. Right. So, a bit of a two-in-one today for you. We're just going to talk briefly about the Wales-Denmark game and then preview the Italy-Austrian game. So, Steve, let's start with a game that both of us have just watched. The Wales-Denmark game. Before the game, I think we probably both thought it would be quite a tight game. Maybe one goal in it, perhaps. And we thought that, Wales had a couple of standout players that might make the difference. How wrong we were. What did you make of that?
To put it blunt, they taught Wales a lesson, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everywhere, all over the park. Up front, Wales had nothing. The defenders, they had their number. In the midfield. They just looked like a class above. It looked like a Premiership side playing a First Division League side. That's how it looked.
Yeah.
And then all over the pitch, and it was just. I mean, they said at half time that Wales started off well, and they Denmark looked worried, and they I haven't got a clue what they was talking about, because I see nothing from Wales. They showed a few clips at half time where they were saying, look, they was doing this, they was doing that, and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, what was so impressive of that? Why would Denmark be worried at that? It was like they was trying so hard to find little morsels of things from Wales. There was nothing, Jerome. There was absolutely nothing. I mean, we'll get on to the players, I'm sure, in a while. But, it was men against boys, mate. Men against boys.
Yeah. Yes, and the scoreline reflects that as well. I was checking during the game. I was checking my phone and seeing what people were saying, and I think they said that Gareth Bale sort of started off quite brightly, but then during the game he just seemed a shadow of his former self, and it looks like he's perhaps lost maybe a bit of pace, maybe even lost quite a lot of pace, to be honest with you, Steve.
Yeah,
it's a shame, because you remember him, not that he's finished playing now, but when you think of Bale, you think of this explosive player, and it happens to everyone over time, just due to age. But it was just a shame to watch, because you wanted him to maybe produce something special, and it just never looked. It didn't really look likely that would happen, did it? I don't think, anyway.
No, it didn't. I mean, people saying he started off brightly. He was given the ball to, more than any other Welsh player, if you like. He had one shot, and he got in space a couple of times on the right, and he done two crosses which, never really set anybody up or went anywhere. It was just that I think people were just getting carried away because he was finding space, getting the ball, and when you're finding space and you're getting the ball, you're running the ball. And you're thinking, oh, he's on it. But really, you're supposed to do something at the end of it. And when you've got somewhere like Gareth Bale, who you just mentioned is as a world-class player, you're meant to do something with it. And I'm I can't have it. I can't have it that he was on it. The best I can say about Gareth Bale, and I am a fan. I am a fan of Gareth Bale's. And he wasn't on it tonight. He wasn't on it. Whether that was his, whether that was the rest of the Welsh squad, and they wasn't helping, and they wasn't running into channels, and that's possible. But no, it was a shame. And you're right about that. His pace is sort of lessening. And what normally happens, I mean, we could say the same thing about Cristiano Ronaldo, Jerome. His pace is lessening. He's not as quick as you don't find him running at players like he used to.
Yeah.
But he's still got other things to his game. But then again, there is a bit of a difference between Portugal and Wales, I suppose, and maybe he's still been able to look a good player.
Yeah, of course. For me, Steve, in the second half, I wouldn't say that it was embarrassing, but it just looked a bit too easy for Denmark. It looked like men against, I don't know about men against boys, but it just looked so comfortable for them. And it was like, I definitely wasn't expecting to see it, because you don't think of Denmark as this team that are fantastic at keeping the ball and, really having lots of possession against their opponents. But for most of the second half, that was the case, wasn't it? They just looked like they were in total control.
Yeah, it looked like, when they did have the ball, Jerome, that they lacked ideas. They were coming forward, and it was like, so okay, what are you going to do? And there was nothing. It was messy for me. There didn't seem to be any shape. I couldn't work out, what they was trying to do. I think they went Sudan, and I just think the players on the pitch, I just think they, lost control of the game, and Denmark just went from strength to strength from then on.
Yeah.
So,
and Steve, like you said before the game, I think what's maybe caught up with Wales is the fact that they haven't got the luxury of chopping and changing it as much. So these players, they must have been absolutely shattered, I reckon, because most of those players would have played most of the games. And psychologically, once you go a couple of goals down, you get mentally tired as well as being physically tired. And unfortunately, I think, the lack of maybe squad depth has maybe played its part as well in Wales leaving the tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah,
which is a shame for all of us Brits to see, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, I wanted Wales to win. When they went 1-0 down, I wanted them to equalise. But you could see that Denmark were just up for it. Okay, they had the crowd behind them. That may have given them a little bit of extra push. And they were just a better side all round. And I don't think, when the half-time whistle went, I just don't think there was any doubt. And I just thought there's going to be more goals in the second half, and then there wasn't going to be, to Wales. It's very difficult to sort of, find a Welsh player who, was decent.
Yeah.
I thought the young kid Roden was okay at times, but the rest, I just thought, there was nothing. Aaron Ramsey was, was he on the pitch? I don't know if he was on the pitch or not.
Yeah,
I thought he was bad.
Yeah, bad night at the office for the Welsh.
But one thing I will say, they did say at the end, Jerome, they said that, Robbie Savage said, Wales are awful, and but I'm not having that. Denmark made them awful. I don't like. I'm one of these people, Jerome. I don't like this. So and so won because they played because they didn't play well. One thing I'd like to tell everybody who's watching is that these are professional footballers, and if the other team's not on it or don't play well, then you will get beat.
Yeah.
You have to play well. If these are professionals, if you play bad, the other team will beat you. So I'm not in that circle of people who say, "Oh, they played bad, that's why you won." I thought Denmark fantastic tonight.
Yeah, no, they thoroughly deserved, and no one can argue with that result. Moving on then, Steve, to the game that's kicking off in about 50 minutes, which is actually at Wembley tonight. The game between Italy and Austria. On paper, there's only one winner, isn't there? Let's face it. I think I think you might have said it beginning of the tournament, Steve. Italy are a team that you've picked to either win it or go very far. They're, you think they're really going to do well. I mean, football is a funny old game. Like, you never know what could happen. They've made a few changes as well, Italy, which some people might be surprised at. Locatelli, their central midfielder, is not playing. He's on the bench.
Wow.
Obviously, Chiellini's not playing as well. Do you think these guys not playing could have any impact at all on the Italy team tonight?
It could do. I mean, they're bringing in Verratti, and he's a top draw player. So it may not make any difference, but no, sometimes if you've got a winning side, you bring another player in, and then it can all change, but it's going to be very difficult tonight for Austria. I find it very hard to find a case for them.
Yeah, true. I think they really need to rely Austria on their standout players. So the likes of Alaba, he's got to play well from tonight, hasn't he, Steve? David Alaba.
Yeah. I mean, there is. I'm trying to find like little morsels of pockets of where they could beat them, but Alaba certainly, he's a world class footballer. And it only takes one free kick or one shot to get in the back of the net, and things could change. And we've seen World Cups and we've seen Euro championships in the past where there's been crazy results that we haven't expected. And I'm sure we're still waiting for one, aren't we? There's still one to come. I don't know if Arnautovic is the player that he was. I mean. And then Sabitzer is quality, but maybe their quality is in the wrong area of the pitch.
Yeah. Because Steve, this Italian team, they don't concede goals, do they?
No.
I don't have the record to hand, but I think the last 25 games they've played, they've only conceded a few goals. I think that they just don't concede, and literally they get one goal. Italy, it could be game over, couldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and they've got a world-class goalkeeper as well in Donnarumma. I mean, we all know Italy have, over the years have just been, prided upon with their defences. As bad or as good as what their midfield and their forwards are, they've always had fantastic defences. And I mean, it's so hard to find a case for Austria but it's possible. You never know.
Yeah. So with Italy, I just don't know. I mean, you might be able to tell me otherwise, Steve, because I know you watch them quite a bit. Would you say Italy are a team that just creates loads and loads of chances, or they're just very efficient in what they do and they keep the ball? And because I think it could be the case whereby they'll have lots of the ball, Italy, that's for sure, but will they create lots and lots of clear-cut chances, do you think? Are they that sort of team?
Well, I mean, you'd have a look at their goal scoring form so far in this tournament, and you would think they would create loads of chances. But right. Jerome, you're absolutely right. That first of all, what I'd say, they're solid. But they've got quality players, and they will let you come onto them. I've spoken to Carlo many a times, and he's what he said to me once was that they let teams come onto them, and then. But when the defences get the ball, they don't lose it. You have to take your chances against them. If you don't take your chances against Italy, you're done. And that's why they've not lost in 33 games previous to today. Then when they get in the midfield, they do the right thing because they've got the quality. And then when it gets up to the front players, their quality, and instead of like making 20 chances and getting one on target, they'll get 5 chances, Jerome, and they'll put 3 in the back of the net.
Yeah. They're clinical. They're clinical. So, Steve, let's have it then. How do you see this one going? What's your prediction for the Italy-Austrian game tonight?
Austria 3-1.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't see anything past Italy. Maybe I can't even see Austria scoring. I'm gonna go again for. I think they'll get 3 goals again. I think they'll score. I think they'll win 3-0. I think my man Immobile will get a couple.
Yeah.
And I think Insigne will get one.
Yeah.
I mean, talking of a signet, I mean, we talk about quality on the ball. He's one of the players that when you give him the ball, he knows how to use it, and one of the reasons why they're getting 3s and 4s and don't create that many chances. But I'm going 3-0, mate.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I think they're just a machine at the moment, the Italian side, and sometimes you can think. You can see a reason how a team are going to win a game. There might be maybe a former player of a club, perhaps, that you think, he could come back and halt them, or there's always a thing you can pick out. But I can't see it any like superstitious reasons for Austria going through it. It would be the biggest. It would be the biggest shock of the tournament so far, wouldn't it? I suppose this result.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't see it. It'd be great if it did, because it would really open it up a bit, and then it would be another team that potentially could go very far. But this is the most one-sided game of the knockout so far. Is there another game that's more, would you say, one-sided than this? I don't think there is.
No, not really. I mean, the other two, you got Sweden and Ukraine. I mean, they're two.
That could go either way, couldn't it? That could go either way.
It could go either way, but there's two lesser teams. Maybe if they was playing one of the others, but no. I mean, if Austria was to pull off a result here, then it would definitely be the biggest shock of the tournament so far. And I'm going to have to turn my Twitter off because I've got a lot of Italian friends, and I think the steam would be coming out of the phone. Because they definitely say how it is when they're not happy.
Anyway, look, as we said before, it's a funny old game. You never know, but I can't see anything other than an Italy win. We're about 40 odd minutes from kickoff, so perhaps we'll leave it there, and we'll go. Hopefully, everyone enjoys the game, and you never know, there could be a big upset on the cards tonight, but we doubt it very. You never know, but we do doubt it very much.
You never know. You never know. Yeah, we said Wales would beat Denmark, so who knows?
That's it. We're we ain't got a good record at the moment today, so let's see. Let's see how it turns out. But guys, thanks for watching. Steve, cheers as always. Been another really enjoyable again. So thanks for that.
Really enjoyed it, mate. Pleasure. Fantastic.
Superb. Cheers. And we'll speak to everyone. We'll speak to you all later on as the tournament progresses. So enjoy the game, and we'll see you later on.